Hey, what's up, everybody? It is the Royal Rumble watch along and post show. We're going to watch the final entrance and the end of the Men's Royal Rumble with you, and then we'll get our thoughts on the entire pay-per-view. It starts now. Let's go, baby. Where are we? Are we here?
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, we're here.
And who is this? Who is this? Oh, it is.
Oh, Seth Rollins is coming out.
Big Daddy's come home. Okay. Becky has not returned.
Seth is in at number 29.
Think he's going to win?
I don't know. Hold on, I got to clean something up. Hold on.
Oh, got a little spillage. Oh, spilly. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Uncensored Royal Rumble finish, wrap-up, and sort of watch-along. I'm Ben Simon, brother of your normal host, Dave Simon.
No, I'm here.
Johnny
I'm
North,
here. Don't worry about it.
Johnny North lost somewhere in cyberspace.
Johnny's going to be here. Johnny will be here soon.
And, here we are. Royal Rumble 2021. A lot of big-name players still in the match. You got your Edge. You got your Christian.
Christian came back during this thing. That was pretty cool.
AJ Styles. Daniel Bryan still in the match.
That's right. He's still
the
in the match.
What else is in this? Randy technically in this match.
I think Randy's still technically in it.
I think we'll see him again. Edge hit Randy's ankle with a chair. Randy got carried away. Even the camera sent backstage being looked at. It's a bit too much attention for an injury. Here comes number 29.
No, this is 30,
number 30.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's Braun Strowman.
30, yeah. This is
the
13
monster
men.
among the men.
Braun Strowman. I wonder, who do you think replaced Keith Lee in this match?
I don't know. Doesn't really matter. John Morrison. Is Christian still in this thing? So Christian was... Oh,
Christian is still there.
AJ Styles almost got eliminated, but almost caught him. Or Omos, his giant man. Omos also eliminated Big E in the match.
Yeah. Ooh. Cesaro.
Oh, there goes Cesaro. Cesaro's eliminated. So who's still in this thing? Let's see. We got Sheamus.
Riddle.
We got Sheamus and Strowman there. We got Riddle. We got Bryan. We got Edge and Christian. Oh, there goes Sheamus. Sheamus has been eliminated. So Bryan, AJ, Riddle, Strowman, Edge, Christian. Seth is still on the outside of the ring. Seth Rollins made his return. Oh, there goes AJ Styles, dumped over by Braun Strowman.
Jesus.
Seth is biding his time. And
Randy,
he got taken out by Edge earlier in the match. He got taken backstage. He was getting medical attention. It's not clear if he's still in the match, but he's probably going to come back, right? Better not win.
It's a very Randy-esque. Classic Randy. If Edge somehow makes it to the end and he thinks he won, and then Randy just sneaks up behind him and RKO's him. It's just classic Randy. Seth Rollins making his big return, staying on the outside. A lot of people staying on the outside in these two Royal Rumble matches, I've noticed. A lot of skin the cat spots, and a lot of people just hang it out outside. Like it's a ladder match, like they're waiting for their spot.
Killing time.
More than normal.
Oh, Riddle and Daniel Bryan in this. Daniel Bryan was my pick from the start to win this thing. Johnny North picked Edge. Both of our picks are still alive. Johnny North did pick the Women's Royal Rumble winner, Bianca Belair, winning the Rumble tonight. Shout out to everybody watching on the chat. I saw you guys on the chat before I was even on the show. Douglas Hepburn, Bob Cote, Bob Burgers.
Oh, Bob Burgers, I love your
Bob
show.
Burgers, yeah. A few other guys I was seeing. Brian Firth. Shout out to you guys. Angelo Contagonis. I saw Patrick C. Hamilton was on the chat before. People were like, how come they're not doing a whole watch-along for the whole show? And then Patrick's like, well, you should all become members of the channel, and then they will. And Patrick is right. If everybody was a member of the channel, we would do a watch-along for the whole Royal Rumble. But, you know.
This is true.
We got to have more members to the channel so we can be on for longer. The more members we have, the longer we're on YouTube. That's how it works. It's like PBS. Except it's fun. I guess Frontline's all right sometimes. So Edge is in the ring. Daniel Bryan's in the ring. Bianca Belair won the Women's Royal Rumble tonight. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler beat Asuka and Charlotte Flair on the opener in the pre-show to become the new WWE Tag Team Champions. Drew McIntyre got the win over Goldberg to defend the WWE title. Sasha Banks over Carmella to retain the SmackDown Women's title. Bianca Belair winning the Women's Rumble. Roman Reigns over Kevin Owens in the Last Man Standing to retain the Universal title. And now we've got Daniel Bryan and Matt Riddle exchanging holds. Doing a little jiu-jitsu in the middle of the Royal Rumble. I like it. Riddle trying to powerbomb out of the triangle armbar attempt. Bryan going over the top rope with it, but he's still got Riddle in the triangle. Riddle trying to knee out of it. Oh, man, if Riddle eliminates Daniel Bryan, I will never forgive him. Come on, Daniel Bryan. As a longtime Daniel Bryan fan, this Royal Rumble is bringing up a lot of memories. A lot of bad memories, of Daniel Bryan. You think he's going to win. You think this is his year, and then Randy Orton comes in and ruins your dreams. But you got to fight for your dreams, and as a Daniel Bryan fan, you have to fight, and you have to believe. Oh, Seth Rollins, you son of a bitch. If you eliminate Daniel Bryan. Here he comes, Seth Rollins. Back in the ring with a stomp on Daniel Bryan. Oh, no.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Seth Rollins eliminates Daniel Bryan. Fuck you, Seth Rollins. You bastard. God damn it.
Just like that.
Fuck. We can't have nice things. Fuck. Daniel Bryan is not going to win the Royal Rumble this year. And just when you think he's going to win the Rumble, Seth Rollins comes in and fucking tosses him over the top rope.
All people.
Shit. Bob Cote, I saw you in the chat. You wanted my reaction. This is my reaction to Daniel Bryan getting eliminated. I'm pissed.
Let's watch Braun Strowman win the whole thing.
Seth Rollins is going to win now, probably. He just curb stomped Riddle. Riddle's eliminated. I think Seth is going to win. Like I said, Seth and Roman makes a lot of sense for the Rumble. Seth and Drew
Seth's kind
makes
of a
no
heel,
sense.
Though. He's working heel.
He is working heel. Yeah.
He's working very heel. He's like, because there's no audience, there's no one to pop for his return. So he can continue being his, sort of Jesus figure. Look, he's influencing. Watch Strowman toss him, Strowman. Yeah. Yeah, of course. I like Christian to win. I want Christian to win.
I mean, that would be
Who
cool.
Who would see that coming? I mean, Edge has already won. What about Christian? The instant classic.
Captain Charisma. Christian taking a nice bumpski there off the Strowman shoulder
very
tackle.
Good shape.
Christian looks great. Christian's a great wrestler.
Christian looks exactly the same as he did in 2006, more or less.
Shout out to Patrick C. Hamilton dropping the super chat. We appreciate you, Patrick. Keep dropping those super chats.
Bless.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for supporting the team.
Edge definitely lost some muscle after last year. He was looking super ripped last year. Now he's looking a little bit skinnier.
Yeah.
Probably that's why he tore his pec, because he was super jacked.
Well, yeah, he's coming off an injury too. Hasn't been able to work out as much.
Yeah.
Edge tried to
What is
eliminate Braun.
this?
Come on. If Edge and Christian can't work
Let's
together
go.
and eliminate some
Let's
folks,
go.
who can? Who
One of the
can?
greatest tag teams
Edge
of
and
all
Christian
time.
trying to eliminate Braun Strowman. They're going to get him. Oh, they eliminate him, but Christian gets tossed over the top rope at the same time by Seth Rollins. It's down to Seth and Edge. Edge has got Seth over.
Randy.
Well, where's Randy? Yeah, where's Randy?
Where's Randy?
Seth has been eliminated. Edge is alone, and here's Randy with the RKO on Edge. Randy's back.
Johnny
It's
North
Edge and Randy
gonna
at the end of
Johnny
the Royal
North.
Rumble. Johnny North is coming in his pants. Oh! Edge eliminates Randy on this day. We see Edge as
is a
the
two-time Rumble
2021 Royal Rumble winner.
Number one.
From number 1 to number 30, the Rated R Superstar. That's the only consolation prize we could get for Daniel Bryan not winning. I can't be mad at that. The Rated R Superstar. Where is Johnny North?
Batista would be pissed off.
Where is Johnny North to gloat about his correct Rumble predictions? Send this man a prize. He's going to be on the show real soon to talk about the Rumble here with us. Johnny North on Wrestling Uncensored this week on our preview show accurately predicts both Rumble winners, and I was over 2. Whoa. Edge wins
Johnny
the
North.
Royal Rumble.
Adding 1,000.
Killing it. Killing the game. I think he also picked Goldberg, though, so that's another story, brother. Wow. Wobbly Op says Johnny is a genius. Johnny the genius. Where is he? I've been texting him and he hasn't responded to me, which makes me wonder.
He's marking out.
He must be going banana right now. Wow. It looked like Seth was going to win, and then it looked like Randy maybe, but Edge gets rid of Randy and wins the Royal Rumble. Wow. Edge is your 2021 Royal Rumble winner, and he is now a 2-time Rumble winner? 3-time?
That's correct.
This is 2,
he was
right?
He was a 2010 Rumble winner.
Edge now
Challenged Chris Jericho.
Two-time Rumble winner. Wow. Good for Edge.
Third person to do it for number 1. Second Canadian.
Only the second Canadian to win a Rumble?
From number 1.
Oh, okay. I was like, no, there's definitely more than 2 Canadians
Third
that
wrestler
have
do
won
it from
Rumbles.
number 1. Yeah.
How many Canadians have won Royal Rumbles? Edge, Chris Benoit,
Bret
Hart. That's it, right? 3?
Yeah, Roddy Piper never won.
No. That's it. Where's Johnny? Is Johnny there? I just heard there's Johnny. I just heard there's Johnny in the background. Should we get Johnny in on this? How do I do?
Here's Johnny.
How do I do Johnny? Hey, there it is.
Hey.
What's up, dude? What's up, Nostra Johnny?
Good show,
Johnny
no?
Damas.
Johnny Damas. Unbelievable. You correctly predicted the Royal Rumble winners, Johnny. Edge and Bianca Belair. You called both. Killing it tonight, Johnny.
Congratulations.
The men's one was hard, though. The men's was really tough because, the men's looked like that could go many different ways right there. The men's was very exciting. That was what a great match. They kind of showed the women how to do a Rumble match right there.
It was a good Rumble match. There were a lot of different options there. A couple nice surprises. One big return with Christian. I liked that match. It was definitely better than the men's Rumble match. Seeing Carlito back was cool. Seeing Christian back was great. Kane was there, That was what it was.
I have thoughts on that one. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought Damian Priest looked pretty good.
Damian Priest looked good. He had a good showing, eliminated some folks. Dominic Mysterio was in his first Royal Rumble. The Hurricane was in the Rumble for some reason. And Omos got an elimination despite not being in the Rumble. Eliminated Rey Mysterio despite not actually being in the Rumble match himself. That might be a first. Probably not.
I feel like
Johnny?
our managers pulled someone off. That's happened.
What's that?
China or something like that, you know.
Yeah, she's definitely pulled someone off.
Oh, yeah,
Hogan,
yeah, that's right.
When Hogan was
Hogan was a participant. Yeah, that's right. Hogan helped Ric Flair win the Rumble.
Oh yeah, Hogan wasn't in that match, was he?
Yeah, he was.
Oh no, he was. Yeah, he was in the match.
He got tossed out by Sid.
Yeah, Omos.
But then he was like holding
Sid's
Sid's hand. No, so I'm sure there's been managers who've like done that.
Omos also had a thing with Big E, right? That was pretty cool. What's going on there?
Well, I think it's just to show Omos the fact that a lot of people are kind of like terrified of him, but Big E's not one of those guys that are terrified of him. But that's just the kind of the gimmick they're doing, is just that he's tough. He's not going to put up with that kind of crap. But to me, it felt like they're pushing possibly Bobby Lashley versus Big E, like champion versus champion.
Yeah, possibly, but maybe that was just a thing for the Rumble. You really think they explore that going forward? I don't know.
I'd like to. I don't know if they will, but I'd like that. I think that'd be a pretty good match.
Well, Johnny, tell us, who is going to face Edge at WrestleMania? What title will Edge challenge for? I mean, you know everything. I want to know.
I know everything.
Yeah, man, you predicted Bianca. You predicted Edge winning the Rumble. Douglas Hepburn on the chat. He wants to know Edge versus McIntyre or Reigns. Antoinette on the chat as well. She says, I got Edge right. So happy. I call it now. Edge will get the chance to win the title. I'm seeing Antoinette and Douglas Hepburn on the chat. I'm seeing Patrick C. Hamilton. Shout out to our members. Shout out to the members of the team. If you're joining the YouTube channel, become a member. We appreciate you, and you'll get priority on the show. That's how it works. If you're a member, I see your name in green in the chat, and then we're best friends, okay? Johnny, Edge versus Drew or Roman? I guess Roman makes more sense because he's a heel, right?
As of right now, Roman makes the most sense, right? But I'm not sure if Drew McIntyre is going to be WWE champion going into WrestleMania, because you still have the Elimination Chamber. So Drew might not get past the Elimination Chamber, which is the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's 3 weeks away. It's very soon.
You got to think Randy's going to get his hands on the belt, right?
I don't know.
Edge Randy or triple threat
I
somehow.
would love that. I would love
Edge
it.
Randy Drew.
I just worry about the whole
happen.
The problem is the Fiend, right? Because they didn't finish that off yet. There was no Fiend tonight.
Yeah.
Too, so.
Right.
That's right.
There was no Fiend tonight, and it was a little bit strange, wasn't it? I think a lot of people expected the Fiend to show up and cost Randy his Royal Rumble. The Fiend was going to show up and do something tonight, but he didn't. And the only sign of the Fiend that we got was when Alexa Bliss was in the Women's Royal Rumble. She stands in the middle of the ring. The Fiend effects start to hit. The lights start to go off. Alexa stands there like something demonic is about to happen. And Rhea Ripley just grabs her and hoists her over the top rope. And that's it. Like, the power of the Fiend seems to have completely disappeared. The power disappeared faster than Randy Orton's burns on his face, which, by the way, were non-existent tonight at the Rumble, even though he was all burnt up on Raw 6 days ago, right? But Alexa Bliss, usually those lights hit and, like, she beats Asuka or she burns Randy Orton's face. When those lights hit for Alexa Bliss, she becomes all-powerful. Tonight the lights hit, and it was like a joke. It was treated like a joke. And then the Fiend wasn't even there tonight to cost anything for Randy. Makes me wonder, like, has something happened? Have they dropped the Fiend story? Because it was very strange. Like, to me, when Alexa was standing there and the Fiend effects started, you think, okay, Alexa's about to do some shit. And instead, she just gets eliminated? That was super weird, right, John? Like, that was weird.
It's not what I was expecting. I was expecting Alexa just to dominate everybody, but I thought that was great to give Rhea Ripley that spot, because she came in there, and I don't think a lot of people even remember that she was at WrestleMania last year. Like, you hadn't seen her really on WWE television unless you watch NXT. So they kind of really need to put her up there to make it seem like you believe she'd win. So to give her that spot, I thought that was great of them to do that. Because, like, honestly, like, Alexa Bliss, it's not great. I don't need to see that stupid, like, her dominating. Like, that was one of the worst parts of Raw when we saw that main event against Asuka. That was horrible.
Right.
But she's gotten a lot of TV time. You know, there's been a lot of TV time dedicated to Alexa Bliss and her stupid promos and her nursery rhyme shtick and stuff. So, and like, they even like laid the camera on Rhea for a second, and she kind of gave a look like, "Can you believe this isn't a gimmick?" Like a little like winking to the camera of like, "What are we thinking?" You know, like there was a bit of that. You know, like the big show, and then like it felt like a Looney Tunes kind of thing of like Bugs Bunny going like, "You're silly." You know, that kind of like thing.
It felt dismissive.
Maybe,
it felt like they were dismissing the Fiend and the Alexa Bliss gimmick. Like, the powers that Alexa has had seem to have disappeared tonight at the Rumble, which is saying something, especially when you follow it up with no Fiend in the Royal Rumble match. We might be reading into it, but you expected the Fiend to show up, and any other time when Alexa has those effects, she's kicking ass. This time the effects hit, and she's a jabroni tossed over the top rope. It was a little bit odd. I thought the men's Rumble was good tonight. I want to know your thoughts on the pay-per-view as a whole on 10. What are we giving this thing? I thought the men's Rumble, again, was really good. Probably the match of the night, although I really liked Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, except for the finish, which we will talk about.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
On 10, this Royal Rumble, I mean, I don't think it'll rank on all-time great Royal Rumble pay-per-views. The Royal Rumble match, however, chock full of superstars, chock full of legends, a few surprises, and a legendary finish there at the end. It was a really good Rumble match. As far as the pay-per-view as a whole, I don't know. 7? I think the Rumble match saved it. I'd give it a 7. It wasn't a great pay-per-view. Like, the women's Rumble was, not anything that special. The Roman Kevin match was the only real good match on the card. Drew Goldberg was nothing. Sasha Carmella was nothing. The tag match on the pre-show was nothing really. It's really the last two matches that needed to make or break this pay-per-view. And for me, they did. They made it. I think without those two matches being as good, you don't get a high rating like a 7 on 10 from me. You get something quite a bit lower. So I like the Rumble match. I like the co-main event there with Roman and Kevin. 7, maybe even a 7.5 if I'm being generous. But I'd say 7. A solid 7 on 10 for me. Johnny, what do you think?
I'll be a bit more generous. I think I'll give it an 8. I thought, again, like what you just said right there, the Rumble match, fantastic. And Kevin and Roman also really great. If anything, it was just because, the pay-per-view kind of started off a bit slow. I'm still kind of counting that kickoff match because it was supposed to be part of the pay-per-view, and I thought that was really lacking. I thought Sasha and Carmella also, it was okay at best. Like, it wasn't. I think the best moment was Carmella's dive. I thought that was kind of good, but only good because it looked like she almost died. So I don't know if that's really that good in a sense. So yeah, I mean, those last two matches really helped it a lot, but those last two matches were very, very good. And you have to also take consideration, there's a lot of work put into that Rumble match. A lot of guys put in a lot of work there, and like I think that deserves a lot of more credit than just a 7, in my opinion.
So what'd you give it? 8?
Yeah, an 8. I was thinking 8.5, but unfortunately those opening matches kind of hurt it a bit.
All right. Brother?
I think I'm with you on the 7. The two last matches definitely raised it. The other stuff was not too memorable. I didn't mind. I thought the Women's Royal Rumble was pretty good. I liked some of the comebacks, and there were some nice moments. And then Bianca winning is interesting. It's someone new and different, and we'll see where they go and what kind of championship run they have, and
I want to talk about
kind
Bianca
of they put into.
Yeah.
But I'd say but like that for that 7, that extra point, I think mostly goes to Owens more than Roman Reigns. Owens took all those dives, those table spots, just sacrificing his body out there, just beating himself up. Like the two main events definitely helped it, but it was mostly through the work of Kevin Owens more than Roman Reigns.
It's hard to disagree with you. I want to talk about that match a little bit. We'll break everything down here on the show. I just want to get to some people on the chat and their numbers. Antoinette says that my brother Ben needs a face emoji. I agree. We all have our own emojis, and if you're a member of the channel, you can use the Johnny North emoji or the Dave emoji or the AJ or the Fred. There's no Ben Simon. There's no Unky B emoji. We need the Unky B
I haven't signed the waiver yet. I'm holding out for more money.
Oh, okay.
I'm difficult in contract negotiations.
You are tough to deal with. That is true. But then I just put
have representation.
I put you in an arm lock, and you seem to deal pretty good. But anyways, my buddy Brian texted me. He says he's given the pay-per-view an 8, just like Johnny North. Derek John, our main man, he's given it a 7. Douglas Hepburn gives it a 7 as well, just like the Simon brothers. A lot of people giving it a 7. Doug Hepburn, Derek John, Antoinette giving it a 7. She says match of the night was Kevin versus Roman, except for the botch finish. Matthew the Magician gives it a 9. Bob Berger says Johnny gets a 10. Not the pay-per-view, but Johnny. Just Johnny as a concept, because he's great. Mako 8033. Nice. Yeah, you're a great concept. Gives it a 5.5 on 10, which is pretty low. He doesn't like it. Angelo Contagonis giving the pay-per-view a solid 7. JJ Mondesi giving it 9 out of 10. He says his expectations were really low, and this is the best pay-per-view in a long time. Huh?
It very well might be, actually. Yeah,
it was good.
If you think about last... I mean, TLC was good, but this was definitely better than TLC. This was better, though. Yeah, again, just because, like, in those Rumble matches, there's so much work involved in those matches. And, like, I thought, like, TLC, there was probably maybe 2 or 3 matches, but, like, the Rumble match, there's so much done in that. I thought a lot of people put in a lot of great work tonight. And I say more so the men than the women. The women, there was still some good spots, but, I mean, the men just showed you, like, that's how you do a Rumble match, right? The women, I think it's just the lack of experience for a lot of them.
Lack of experience in Rumble matches, too. You had Kane, who's been in more Rumble matches than anybody in WWE history, right? Guy's been in 18 Rumble matches now. It's ridiculous.
Jesus.
Well, there's also just the booking, too. Like, you have a guy like Kane. You have a guy like Carlito that can show up. I mean, the women, you know, it's cool to get Victoria, but then you had, like, Jillian Hall. No offense huge to Jillian Hall, but, like, she doesn't rank like the Trish Litas. You know, Undertaker, Kane. She's not like a huge name, you know, like.
Yeah.
She was there for like the Ruthless Aggression era. She was there for a few years, you know.
Yeah, but she's no Carlito or Christian. You know what I mean?
No, but she's available. She's working still somehow.
Yeah.
They did the best they could with what they had. But that was like half like NXT in that Royal Rumble, if you think about it.
Yeah. The men's Rumble was a lot more star-studded, a lot more solid as far as, you know, veterans and people that have been in the wrestling business for a long time. I mean, look at who was in this thing. Edge coming in at number 1. Randy Orton coming in at number 2. Sami Zayn in at number 3. Mustafa Ali is 4. Jeff Hardy at 5. I mean, just the first 5 guys in there are all bust-ass wrestlers that know exactly what they're doing. And then you follow it up with the next 5, and it's the same thing. Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke Nakamura, Carlito, Xavier Woods, Big E. Like, that's a good first 10 of the Royal Rumble. You could stack that first 10 with any first 10 in the history of Royal Rumbles, and it'll match up. You know what I mean? Like, those 10 guys are serious professional wrestlers. Very few kind of loser, forgettable wrestlers in this thing. John Morrison in at 11. Ricochet at 12. Elias, I guess, in at 13. He was probably the worst guy in the Rumble, although Dominic Mysterio was in it too. But Damian Priest comes in at 14. He's legit. The Miz comes in at 15. He's the Miz. Riddle comes in at 16. Daniel Bryan in at 17. Kane at 18. King Corbin. Otis at 19. Otis at 20. The Dominic Mysterio. But then Bobby Lashley, Hurricane, Christian, AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, Cesaro, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman. Like, holy shit. You talk about a roster, man. Those 30 guys, that's a pretty serious... Like, you stack this Rumble up with any Rumble in the history of Rumble. Star power? This one's pretty good. This was a very well put together Rumble.
The 2008 Rumble was pretty stacked up. I remember that one.
92 Rumble's pretty good, too.
With Michaels and Taker kicking it off. Yeah.
The 92 Rumble was pretty nuts.
I mean, it was Bulldog, Flair, DiBiase, your first three. That's pretty good.
Everybody was Rumble. In that thing.
Yeah.
This one was good. Like, this one you could match up, you know? Sure, yeah. Bulldog, Flair, DiBiase, okay?
Yeah, Edge. You didn't get your Kurt Hawkins Edge, and Randy, your guys like that.
Bulldog, Flair, DiBiase, Edge, Randy, Sami Zayn. Yeah. You know, matches up.
Right,
matches up really well. Hell of a Rumble.
Usually Rumbles have a lot of filler in their first ranks. You'll like get a couple guys to kick it off, and then you get your guys like a Kurt Hawkins, your Heath Slaters, your Titus O'Neills. They'd be like, okay, this is a bit of a snoozer, This it was a little more consistent with like, oh, okay, we'll get some good spots in. This isn't too much of an after.
There was no filler. There was no like, oh, here's Zack Ryder, no offense. Yeah. Here's Heath Slater, no offense to Impact Wrestling's roster, but you know what I mean? Yeah. There was no filler. All killer, no filler.
And let's be fair. I think what really killed the women's match was that whole 24/7 bit that they did. To me, that really brought the match down a lot.
It didn't help. It didn't help at all.
A lot of Alicia Fox.
Can we try and answer the question of Edge versus at WrestleMania? You say Randy for the title, John?
Ideally, yeah. That's the best thing to do. Yeah, of course. Because like you got a tease there in the Rumble match, but you still didn't get all of it. Edge barely got away from Randy, and it feels like it's still unfinished. I would have Randy win the Elimination Chamber and make that the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I don't think it's the best thing to do. It's not my favorite move, but I could see them going that way. I would prefer, like, Edge versus Jeff Hardy at WrestleMania for the title, but it's not going to happen, so. I just
really
like
speaks
Jeff
to the
Hardy.
Star power of Edge. Because, like, if this was Batista, this was almost, this was kind of the plan of Batista just showing up at the Rumble, winning it, and taking on Randy at WrestleMania. We were like, oh, this is the worst idea you could possibly do. Sucks to the rest of the roster. Yeah, but Edge, it's a guy we like a little bit more, it's a bit more. But he's coming in, winning the Rumble, taking on Randy at Mania in the main event. But we're like, it's good. It's the best.
Yeah, but he's a guy that's paid his dues in the past, that's got the respect of the wrestling business, that's got the respect of wrestling fans. Like, he's a real guy. He's a real wrestler. He's a guy that's grown up dreaming about this. And he fought really hard to come back from injury just to wrestle again because he loves to wrestle and he wants to have a solid ending to his career. I just wonder when he decides to call it quits. Like, will Mania be his last match? Because he came back to kind of do it his way, to go out his way. I hope he doesn't, have to quit due to injury again. But here we go.
Edge was the huge question, right?
Whoa. One at a time. Johnny, go ahead.
Well, this was the huge question that you had going into this. You were like, oh, Edge shouldn't win the Rumble because you were worried about his injury, like if he's going to get injured again. I think this was a great test for him to be number one, to last over an hour, if not mistaken. He really tested himself, and he kind of had to earn it because like he went through pretty much everybody.
Yeah. It was a tough one.
I was going to...
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, he'll probably have a limited schedule going forward. He won't be wrestling much on Raw or SmackDown.
No. I doubt he wrestles again until, maybe the Chamber, but maybe not. Maybe he doesn't wrestle again until Mania. Because at this point, he's won the Rumble. Do you want to risk it?
Well, I throw something else out here. I mean, if Christian showed up and if Christian can, like, maybe do a couple more matches, why don't you do a little Edge and Christian thing for a little bit?
That's likely.
A tag team thing. That'd be fun. Give
Doesn't
them the
have to
belts.
last long. I mean,
give them the belts.
I don't know about that.
Why not? Can't they beat Shelton and Cedric? Those guys barely want to hang out with each other as it is. Where were they tonight? Only Bobby was in the match? He was the only Hurt Business man in the match.
That was always a plan.
The Hurt Business plan? MVP let you in on the plan, John? What are you talking about? That was always the plan.
He said that on Raw. He said that on Raw. Like, it was just going to be Bobby Lashley. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Angelo Contagonis has become a member of the universe. Welcome, Angelo. Thank you for signing up to become a member. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, man. Everybody should become a member of the team. Become a member of the channel. We need as many members as we can get. Thank you, Angelo, for signing up. Welcome to the team, my man. Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question?
No. No further questions.
I say yes. I say shoot.
Did you guys feel like in both the men's and women's Rumble matches there was like an over-reliance on skin the cat spots, like a little more than usual, and also just like people just going to the outside and like brawling outside? Like, I don't remember seeing that much in Rumble matches prior. Just people going like, screw it, I'm just going under the ropes. We're just going to brawl. I'm going to rest outside. Like, it felt more like a ladder match in that way because there was like a lot of guys just waiting on the outside for their spots to kind of go in. And there was just a lot of spots where like people, like two people would like skin the cat at the same time and like try to kick each other. Like, I feel like I saw that like two or three times. I don't know. You guys feel that too, or is that?
I don't like all
thing?
that. I don't like all that break time during the Royal Rumble. I remember early days in the 90s in the Rumble. If you were one of these guys that were like, "Oh, I'm gonna go take a break outside the ring," some other guys in the Rumble will be like, "No, fuck that. That's not how the Rumble's played." And they'd go out and they would get you and they would push you back in the ring. Like, they would force you to get back in the ring because it's like, no, it's every man in the ring, get back in the ring. You're not allowed to take a break. Now it's like Seth Rollins just chilling there, and it's obvious that he's waiting for his spot, and the rest of the guys in the Rumble are just like, yeah, whatever. And the referees don't even tell him to get back in the ring. I remember when you used to try and cheat and slide under the ropes, you know, Rick Martel didn't want to be in the Rumble. The referees would be on his ass, like, get back into the ring, Rick Martel. I don't care that you're the model. You better wrestle in the Rumble, you bastard. And he was like, oh, I don't want to do it. And it's like, get out of there, Rick Martel, you fucker. You know? Rick Martel wasn't allowed to do that shit back in the day, so Seth Rollins shouldn't be allowed to do it now. And Randy Orton certainly shouldn't be allowed to go backstage and fucking come back at the end of the Rumble. Like, Randy Orton is the laziest fucking wrestler in the history of WWE. This guy comes in, what, number 1, number 2 in the Rumble, and he's barely in it. He barely did anything. Shows up at the end.
Almost won.
Shows up at the end and almost wins. This is Johnny North's favorite wrestler. I don't understand, John. What's your problem? What's going on, man?
I'll first explain that. He's the heel in all this. He's faking an injury, obviously, right? So that was just good storytelling, in my opinion. Like, of course he should try that and then make it look like he's not going to come back, but then does come back, tries to sneak a win. And it looked like he was going to win, so I thought that was just great the way it was put together. Glad Edge still won because I think Edge is the right route to go. I think Edge, people want to see that, so people are going to be happy. But going to your other point, that how it's like too many people skin the cat, that's people just not working together, unfortunately, like going over spots, like realizing people are redoing things over and over again. That's just bad booking, whoever booked that match. And it's hard to book a Rumble match, obviously, because things are going to repeat like that, but people need to be talking. And I feel it happened more in the men's. Again, I don't want to bury too much the women's match, but experience. Like, I think the men seemed more in sync on what was going on. And the women, again, because I guess there's just a lack of experience there, they're just kind of just doing whatever they want, and it seemed more of a mess. And one of the worst parts, as much as I like Bianca and like her winning, but that spot with her and Rhea at the end where they're just hanging on, they're like, okay, stop. And they just look at each other and let themselves get back in the ring. That was beyond stupid. Like, that took me out of it right there. I'm like, this is bad. Like, you guys this is a fight, and you guys just stop because, you're going to be like sportsmen about it, like, or sportswomen about it. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah, it wasn't a great Rumble. It was kind of no real surprises, no real shockers, no real great spots. Naomi did a thing outside the ring. What did she even do? Like, I don't even remember Naomi's spot.
She lasted quite a while.
She like held on to Bianca's hair to like get back in the ring at one point, right? That was her like little deal.
And then they helped each other get back in.
But look, man, I just ran down the list of guys that were in the Rumble. Look at the women that are in the Rumble. It's just not the same level of experience, and that's why you got what you got. You got Bayley in there, who's a legend, who should have won, but she didn't. Naomi in there. Nice to see Naomi back. What's that?
Or elimination that you didn't even see the first time around. I mean, that was, again, just bad camera editing, like whatever happened there.
Because Tori Wilson was getting eliminated at the same time. We had to see that, pal.
Well, again, people aren't on the same page. Like, why is there 2 eliminations at the same time? Like, that shouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. It was a bit of a mess. Bianca Belair's in there, Billie Kay, Shotzi Blackheart, Shayna, Toni Storm, Jillian Hall, Ruby Riott, Victoria, Peyton Royce, Santana Garrett, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Dana Brooke, Tori Wilson, who could never wrestle. I mean, come on. Lacey Evans, Mickie James, Nikki Cross, Alicia Fox, Mandy Rose, Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai was the best elimination when she got eliminated. She fell on her face there. Who tossed her out? Nia, right? Hurt. Was it Nia that eliminated her?
I think so. Nia or Shayna eliminated her.
Yeah. It might have been Shayna. It was nasty. It looked like she was hurt.
She looked hurt. Yeah. Definitely. Because like you saw, she was at ringside like a while after she was eliminated.
Oh, yeah? Carmella, Tamina, Lana, Alexa, Ember, Nia, and Natty.
Yeah, Ember.
Like, you know, it's not a ton of super high-level wrestlers in that match. Like, there's some names, and there's a lot of the main roster, a lot of the NXT people. And your winner is Bianca Belair. You know, I said it on Twitter when she won, like, oh, it's nice to see her win. They're going to elevate her. They're going to use this to elevate her. It can't be Bayley and Sasha and Charlotte and Becky on top forever. You have to have some people that could legitimately challenge them. And right now, you don't. You just don't. You had Carmella challenging Sasha tonight. You just don't believe in Carmella. There's, you know, Asuka's there too. Asuka's in that mix, but there's that upper echelon of people, and then there's everybody else. I guess Nia and Shayna are kind of on that level too.
Alexa was there once.
From time to time. Alexa has been there, but now I don't know. But you got to keep elevating people to that level, and they have too many of these people that are just not there. They've got Mandy Rose, they've got Lana, they've got Dana Brooke. I mean, look at all these people that are in the Royal Rumble. Very few of them you believe could ever beat Charlotte Flair. You know what I mean? Like, Naomi's not beating Charlotte. Like, maybe once in a while on a fluke, but come on. You know, Naomi's not going to do it. Billie Kay's never going to beat her. Shotzi Blackheart will never beat Charlotte. Toni Storm, you know, unlikely. Jillian Hall. Toni Storm's pretty good. Maybe.
If they put on the main roster,
maybe.
She has potential.
It would take a while, though.
She's also pretty young, Toni Storm, if I understand.
So I'll give you a maybe with Toni Storm, but like Billie Kay, Shotzi, Ruby Riott, Peyton Royce, Santana Garrett, Liv Morgan, Dana Brooke, Nikki Cross. I mean, I like Nikki Cross, Alicia Fox, like Mandy Rose, Dakota Kai. None of these people are at the level where you believe they'd beat Charlotte or Bayley or Sasha. So now Bianca's at this level where she wins the Royal Rumble after beating Bayley clean on SmackDown, and you think, oh, well, maybe she's at their level and she could beat whoever she faces at WrestleMania, right? Bianca versus Sasha makes sense, I guess. Sasha's a babyface, though, so I don't know, and so is Asuka. You kind of got to take the title off somebody to set it up for Mania. I don't know what you do. Johnny North, you've been predicting everything, so give us your prediction, man. You said Bianca would win the Rumble. You said Edge would win the Rumble. Who does Bianca face at WrestleMania?
Well, I think Sasha makes the most sense, but I think you turn Sasha heel from now and Mania. I think Sasha's better as a heel. I mean, her character suits it better. She's way too cocky. I don't know why she's a face right now. I think she's just a face because she has no true challengers. So I think Bianca coming up as, especially you saw with that promo how she's battled through everything. She's the underdog. So I think Sasha becoming a jerk again. I mean, just being a bit more jerky than she already is. I think that's what should happen.
I can see that.
That's the match people want to see too. People want to see that match too. I think people see Sasha as right now as the best or one of the best, and they need someone up and coming to face her that they believe could beat her.
Yeah, I think it's a good match, on paper. Sasha turning heel, I could see it, but that would just stack the deck of heels on SmackDown. Everybody would be a heel at that point on SmackDown. Carmella, Bayley, Sasha. Like, you'd have no more baby faces.
The Riot Squad are faces.
The Riot Squad are faces? I guess Naomi might be back on SmackDown. She could be a baby face.
I thought she got drafted to Raw, but I mean, they didn't really state it, so who the heck knows?
I mean, one of the Usos is on SmackDown, so I figure.
Yeah, you would think. Billie Kay's a face, right? And they pushed her like crazy.
Is she? I think she's a heel.
I don't know. To me, she seems like a face. Like, people seem to like. Michael Cole seems to like her, and Corey Graves maybe not so much. So usually when it's like that, that's the face.
Yeah. Like a Santino or like a New Day, they start off as heels, but then they just kind of endear themselves to the audience by being goofy. They're goofy, but in a heel way that just turns to babyface goofy.
She's so funny, man. I loved her bit tonight. She was really good.
She's okay.
I agree. Your brother's spot on this one.
Bianca looked okay. Bianca looked okay in the Rumble tonight, but one-on-one, she hasn't looked great in her one-on-one matches. And her promo was good tonight, but her promos overall haven't been great. So
right.
I don't know. I feel like it might be too much too soon for Bianca. Like, she's good, but she's not fully realized who she is and what her character is. She doesn't seem that confident in the ring. Like, she talks and she's saying confident words, but you don't believe them. She's like, I'm the best, but there's something when she says it that you don't fully buy.
I feel that. I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I feel it too.
Like, she's saying the words, but you don't believe. I'm the EST. That means I'm the smartest and the greatest. And it's like she's really cocky, and that's her gimmick, but she's supposed to be a babyface. So the character is like, it's just not super well defined. And I think that she's obviously an incredible athlete, and she's got a great look, and she's got charisma, but there's something missing there, and I worry that if you push her too fast, when it's not fully put together, when the act isn't fully complete, that you risk exposing her and kind of doing more harm than good. Like, you try her out, and then she doesn't succeed the way you expect her to at Mania, and then you just kind of say, oh, well, Bianca sucks, and back down the card for you, and her whole push is derailed, and her career, doesn't go as well as it could. I feel like a slower push for Bianca, winning the Rumble next year, I think would have made more sense. And again, I feel like I'm talking about Otis winning Money in the Bank. I said the same shit about Otis when he won Money in the Bank. I was like, he's good. He's obviously athletic. He's got a ton of personality, but it's not finished. The bread hasn't had a chance to rise. Let the bread rise before you take it out of the oven. Otherwise you're making fucking wrestling matzah, and nobody wants that. Okay? My Jews understand what I'm talking about.
I like matzah.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying?
There's a huge difference, though, here.
Yeah. Okay. Why? What's the difference, John?
Like, Otis, he was over, but he wasn't, super over. That was, really force pushing Otis like crazy. With this, I feel Bianca is truly that over. I think they wanted to make her the next star. I mean, you really have to look at social media now these days. And, the fact that people pretty much almost daily now are saying Bianca is, the next big star in wrestling, that's pretty much how you gauge it. And, as much as people like Otis, like you, Dave, Like, it was never to the level of what Bianca's got right now. And, like, she's going to have to earn it, in my opinion. Like, if she's going to win the title at WrestleMania, she'll have to earn it from now to Mania. Like, if she can continue this momentum and continue to have good performances. Like you said, like, she's good, but there's still some parts that need some work. So she's going to have to work on that from now to Mania.
Yeah, she's going to have to do a lot of work. She's going to have to step up big time. I don't know. I worry about it. I don't think she's quite ready. But they're going to push her and they're going to try. And I don't buy that whole thing like, oh, people like her on social media. They say she's the next big thing. I don't give a shit if she has a lot of people following her on Twitter. That doesn't really mean that you're going to be the next great professional wrestler. She might be, but I don't know. She's not as good as so many of the others that they have right now. And that's what worries me. You know, I don't know how good the match with Sasha will be at Mania. I don't know. I hope it is good. I think it'll be Sasha, unless it's Asuka. Although I don't see Asuka holding on to the title for Mania. I think Charlotte or Lacey is going to get it, and we do Charlotte versus Lacey for the Raw title at Mania. I think we're headed in that direction. Charlotte and Asuka dropping the tag team titles. I think that frees Charlotte up for a singles run here.
Well, how do you see it, though? Is Charlotte going to be the champion going in, or Lacey is the champion going in?
I see Lacey.
Yeah.
I want to agree with both you guys, but the way they made Lacey look in the Rumble like she was just another person in there and got eliminated, like it didn't really matter, I start to wonder now. Because, again, like, you can judge a lot of WrestleMania by the Rumble, and the way they use Lacey, it's just like she's a whatever afterthought. Like, Charlotte will obviously be there, but I wonder about Lacey, unfortunately.
You don't think it'll be Charlotte versus Lacey at Mania? Maybe they do finish the Charlotte-Lacey thing before, and they just do, Charlotte-Asuka for the title at Mania?
They very well could do that, sadly. I mean, I think they should go all the way with Charlotte and Lacey, but to me, it seemed like they weren't that confident in Lacey if she just got eliminated with a bunch of people and it meant nothing. She should have been in, like, the Final Four at least.
I love her and Ric Flair together. They're fantastic.
Rick's entrance in the Women's Battle Royal, the Women's Rumble, was great.
I mean, you knew why Ric Flair's music hit, but there was still that thing in the back of your mind that thought, is he really entering the Women's Royal Rumble? What's going on here? And then Lacey comes out with
gear?
Big robe. Speaking of robes, Charlotte with 2 different robes tonight. You notice that? Pre-show robe and Rumble robe. 2 different robes, 2 different sets of gear. She was wearing different gear for her pre-show match and in the Rumble. All respect to the Queen.
You know why, though? Because, like, she messed up her other robe that she gave to Lacey, right? So she probably didn't want to mess up the robe that she had earlier because that was a nicer robe. So
was that the robe that Lacey had? The one that she wore earlier in the night?
I feel like it was the one she had for the Rumble, the purple one. The other one I think was yellow, no?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. It was the same robe? Lacey stole her robe?
That's what they said.
Okay.
That happened, yeah.
Speaking of gear, honorable mention to a few people's gear tonight. I thought Shayna's gear looked really cool. She had new gear, looking good. Nia, I think, had some new gear too. Looked all shiny and nice. Sasha had some really cool gear with the Louis Vuitton print on her kick pads and stuff. That was some nice gear. But gear of the night, gotta go to New Day. They had the Brody Lee commemorative gear. Kofi had Brody Lee's image on his pants. Woods had this big, like, Brody Lee, like, mural. Not a mural, but like a, picture thing. Awesome.
On the back, yeah.
Yeah, on the back of his vest. Looked beautiful. Very cool that they have New Day tribute gear to Brody Lee. Like, I like that.
It was cool to see Kofi, too. I wasn't expecting that.
I loved it. What did you think of the Kevin Owens Roman Reigns match? Johnny? Uh-oh, what happened? What just happened? Hold on a second. I lost Johnny. What the hell is happening over here? Where's Johnny? Johnny, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't think you can hear me.
No, I can hear you now. Glitch.
Oh, you can hear me. Great. But your brother's gone.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. Oh, he's taking a break.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice to know.
He'll be back. Yeah, now you tell me. Roman and Kevin Owens. I thought the match was fantastic. But the finish was a little, it sucked, but it's not really anybody's fault except for the handcuffs and maybe Paul Heyman. Like, how come they couldn't fix that before? How come they couldn't figure that out before the end of the match? They couldn't rehearse that? Like, it was pretty bad. So, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns wrestle this kick-ass last man standing match. Plenty of false finishes. When Kevin got tossed off the thing through the tables, right? Tossed off the, what do you call that? The platform through the tables. I was like, oh, it's going to be over here. But no, he gets back up. Then Kevin gets speared through the stage, and I thought, oh, that's a false finish. He's definitely going to get back up. And he did get back up. And then when he handcuffed Roman Reigns to that thing, that metal thing, and it was down on the ground, and Roman was trying to get back up to his feet, I was like, whoa, are they actually going to give it to Kevin Owens? And that is the mark of a great match, when they can get a hardened veteran like me, a guy who's seen it all in professional wrestling, who is super cynical when it comes to pro wrestling, that knew would bet his life on Roman Reigns walking out as champion at the Royal Rumble. In that moment, in those few seconds when Roman had his hand cuffed to the bottom of that metal thing and he wasn't able to get back to his feet, I thought, oh shit, they're going to give it to Kevin Owens. They got me. They got me. And I'm happy that they got me. I like when I can believe, And then, of course, Roman grabs the referee and pulls him into the metal thing and drops him so he stops the 10 count. And Paul Heyman can come out and, Roman actually did a low blow to Kevin Owens, and then Paul Heyman came out and he tried to unlock the handcuffs, but it took a long time. The referee started counting Roman Reigns, and then he had to stop counting Roman Reigns because he realized Heyman wasn't going to unhandcuff him in time. And then they had to show the camera on Kevin Owens just kind of standing there while Roman Reigns, was just handcuffed, and Heyman was, still sweatily struggling to unhandcuff him. And then eventually he unhandcuffed Roman, and Roman slapped his guillotine choke on Kevin Owens, choked him out for the 10 count. Roman wins, retains the title. Great match. If they could have sped up that handcuff spot, it would have been a really great match. But overall, I thought the match exceeded expectations. It got me to believe. And it was super violent. So, 2 thumbs up for me. The finish was kind of weak, but, don't let Paul Heyman be the guy with the handcuff key next time, I guess. Also, are we overusing handcuffs in wrestling? I feel like every wrestling show I see a pair of handcuffs now.
Well, I was going to say that about this match. You have to take in consideration that probably not everyone watches everyone's wrestling, so they probably don't think, oh, we're overdoing this. As we saw with the golf cart situation that happened. Clearly they never saw what happened in AEW, so it's free game for them to use the golf cart and just run somebody over, right?
Yeah, he got Sammy Guevara.
That was a good tweet that you put out there. I completely agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
But it's a good spot. Why not use it? It's a good spot.
Because we just saw it 6 months ago in the Stadium Stampede. I'll tell you why you don't do it. Because fucking AEW just did it and then did it again in another match, didn't they? Didn't Sammy have a match? He got hit with the golf cart in Stadium Stampede, but didn't he also get hit with the golf cart in that match that he had with Matt Hardy where Matt Hardy nearly died?
Well, there's actually 3 moments that happened. I think it happened in just a random street fight match they had on Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Then they used it again in the Stadium Stampede. Then they did it again in the match that Matt Hardy almost died.
Yeah, it's a Sammy Guevara special that's been used very frequently on AEW. And for some reason, WWE decides to do it tonight. It's like, come on, boys. Like, everybody knows it's a Sammy Guevara. Kevin Owens got Guevara tonight.
I don't mind them using spots like that. If anything, it just shows that, hey, it's a good spot. We're going to do it too. That's all. If anything, it's giving respect to AEW, no?
Maybe. I don't know. I guess the sincerest form of flattery is imitation, or whatever the saying is. So that's what it is, right? It's flattery.
That's the way I look at it.
There you go. All right. I thought the match was great, though, right?
Well, again, this is also really hard to pull off, where we just had the Rumble match, right? And there's a bit of downtime to do some promos. But again, you're going into the match. A lot of people are pretty tired because they just saw a match that went over an hour. And then to have an incredible match like that, just goes to show you how great they are. And again, too, they've wrestled, like, they wrestled TLC, they wrestled a cage match, and then they come back again and get people interested again, and hooked, too, as well. It just shows you how good they both are. I know a lot of people give Kevin a lot of credit, and he deserves a lot of the credit. But I think Roman deserves it, too. Like, it takes two to tango, man.
Yeah. No, I think Roman did well tonight. Like, obviously, Kevin took more. He gave his body a little bit more than Roman did, but Roman worked hard. He sold it too. He really sold that spot when he was down and handcuffed. Like, he sold the panic. You know, you saw the panic and felt it in his face. You know, he sold that really well. I thought he did a great job of doing that and bringing the ref in to stop the count just in the nick of time. Like, that was really well done from Roman. I thought Roman and Kevin had a great match. They work very, very well together. You know, they've had a lot of practice wrestling each other. They work super well together. I watched I think they had the 2017 Royal Rumble on the network the other day. And and it was a Universal title match. Kevin Owens was a Universal champion. You know who his opponent was at the Royal Rumble in 2017? Yeah, Roman Reigns. These guys have wrestled.
We watched that match together.
Yeah, it was not long ago, though. It was like, what, 4 years ago? 4 years ago, they worked the Rumble against each other for the Universal title, and then we do it again here. Strange.
Roles reversed.
Yeah, I mean, I got no problem with it, but it's just funny. Of course, the last time Chris Jericho was on the card, he was suspended above the ring in a shark cage, if you remember that, in 2017. Jericho.
I do.
Not here tonight. Apparently, people are harassing Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega
what's going on with Kenny?
I don't know. Kenny Omega just tweeted out, guys, I know. They did it well, so props to all involved. And then he tweets out, hold on, I'll show you. I think I can show you. So here, guys, I know they did it well, so props to all involved. I guess people are like tweeting Kenny about how good the Rumble was. And then
probably the golf cart spot.
Maybe. So here he goes, word of advice to all you weird WWE stans. If you're trying to piss me off, tweet something controversial about a video game I like. I don't care much about wrestling opinions. Those are yours. Have them. What's that about?
Yeah, my guess here, I'm not 100% sure exactly what the tweets are, but people are tweeting about the golf cart spot, the fact that it happened, and probably WWE fans are saying, like, oh, it was so much better here than what you guys did it. You know, nobody got hurt, it looked like, and it looked so much cooler the way it just came out of nowhere. They probably tweet stuff like that, you know, that's it. I mean, people will just tweet hate to Kenny no matter what, just because there's that whole WWE versus AEW rivalry. You just have to accept, like, if you're on either side, you're just gonna take that. It's just what's gonna happen.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird that people are going at Kenny talking about how good the Rumble was. Like, it was good, but do you have to
probably too? Kenny wasn't there as well. Like, they probably, oh, why weren't you in the Rumble? I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I wouldn't put it past WWE fans. They're very hardcore.
Yeah, they're a little much sometimes, I think. Shouldn't have to go after Kenny Omega because you enjoyed the Royal Rumble. I don't really understand that. I don't go after Roman Reigns when I like an AEW show. Very strange. Very strange. Of course, I'm very disappointed because Daniel Bryan didn't win. Every time I think he's going to win, he doesn't win.
Who eliminated him? Seth Rollins, right, I think?
Yeah. Fucking Seth Rollins.
Well, that could be an interesting match.
I guess.
Well, you thought Seth would come back as a face in this match. Clearly, he's still a heel. I found the way he wrestled, the way he acted.
Mm-hmm.
So I could easily see Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins going to WrestleMania. Don't think we've seen that WrestleMania before. Or has it even happened on pay-per-view yet? So, yeah, I think we'll more likely see that match.
Okay. I don't really care about that match. I don't really see what the point is. Unless it's a farewell to Daniel Bryan because he's going to AEW. His contract is up this year. I don't know. I don't know if I would stay if I were him. Depends how much money they throw at you, what the contract is, but definitely explore your options. That's what I would tell pro wrestlers today, especially big-name pro wrestlers. Explore your options. See what the competition is offering, and then negotiate. Brock does it. Brock explores his options every time there's a contract up. Goes to Dana White and tells him he's thinking about fighting. Lies to Dana White. Dana White believes it every single time because he sees the dollar signs. Offers Brock a contract. Brock takes that contract, sends it to Vince, and says, "This is what the UFC's offering me. Double it. Or I'm taking the UFC's offer." And Vince says, "Oh, okay, pal. Whatever you want." No Brock tonight, Johnny. Will we see Brock by WrestleMania?
I think if we do see Brock, it will just be like an appearance, maybe like some sort of run-in or confrontation. I don't think he's going to wrestle.
Really?
I mean, if you think about it, they have enough talent, right, to fill up 2 WrestleMania cards, which they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have Goldberg more than likely is going to be back for WrestleMania. And apparently John Cena is going to come back. So right there, possibly a match or 2 matches right there. Then you have the 2 title matches, which will probably be the main events of both shows. Then you add in like the women matches. So that's probably 2 or 3 matches per a night right there. So, I mean, you're already filling up your WrestleMania, and then you just fill up all the other title matches. I mean, besides maybe that Bobby Lashley match, is there a big match for Brock Lesnar? I don't think so.
Wow. You might be right. I'm looking at this card, and I'm not really sure where he'd fit in. So what do we say for WrestleMania? We say, John Cena versus Goldberg?
We'll say that for now, sure. I hope that doesn't happen, to be honest. Again, I'll go with Cena versus R-Truth. As bad as R-Truth was tonight, let's go with John Cena R-Truth.
Not going to happen. Cena, Goldberg, Edge, Randy for the title. Does Drew McIntyre have a spot at WrestleMania?
Yeah, him and Sheamus. Yeah.
Got to figure. Him and Sheamus? Just one-on-one for nothing?
Well, Sheamus could cost him the match, the Elimination Chamber match.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Charlotte versus somebody for the title. Bianca versus Sasha. Shaping out. But there's still a lot to go. Still a lot to go because we not only have the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view coming up in 3 weeks' time. 3 weeks. 3 episodes of Raw and SmackDown. This is on the 21st of February. February 1st is tomorrow. Okay, in 15 minutes we're going to be...
minutes away.
Yeah, 15 minutes from now we're going to be in February. And Elimination Chamber is on the 21st. And then we have Fastlane, which is on the something of March. So Fastlane...
I want to say the 21st.
21st.
Well, maybe.
21st of March is Fastlane. And then WrestleMania on April 10th and 11th. So we have 2 more pay-per-views still to go before WrestleMania. A lot could happen between now and then. A lot.
Yeah, I wonder for Fastlane. I mean, what do you really do with that? I feel like last time Fastlane wasn't really that great. Like just a lot of stuff like thrown together. I feel like a lot of the champions weren't even featured on that pay-per-view.
But wasn't that the kind of first pandemic pay-per-view too? So they were just figuring it out.
Oh, it's been a while. I mean, you could be right, but still.
I think so.
I just feel you don't need Fastlane. I think 2 nights of WrestleMania is enough.
Or did they do the
But
Chamber?
we're still gonna get it.
Was the Chamber a pandemic pay-per-view?
I feel like the Chamber, like they actually had fans for that.
Yes, it was the last one. It was the last
Yeah.
one. So Fastlane was the first one without fans last year, and I think that's... Or no, they didn't even do Fastlane last year.
I think I'm thinking the Fastlane like 2 years prior was the last time they did Fastlane.
Oh, no, they... Did they? No, they didn't do Fastlane last year. Why not? What happened last year? Oh, pandemic, I guess. They were looking for
pandemic, I guess, happened, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things were going on last year that are still somehow going on this year. Still. So what
Probably throughout the whole year.
Yeah, last year before Mania, they had Elimination Chamber, but in March. And they had a Super Showdown, too. Right? You remember that? They went to Saudi Arabia at the end of February last year, just before everything shut down. That's why, that's why we're having the Chamber in February, because they're not going to Saudi Arabia. That's what happened last year. They had a Super Showdown in February, and then the Chamber in March, and then Mania. I get it. I get it now. It all makes sense, Johnny.
Well, I'm glad it makes sense to you, because a lot of this won't make sense. Randy's face not being burnt again tonight, like, there's some things you just have to, like, just forget about, like, because they forgot about it, so you have to forget about it.
Well, whatever. Rey Mysterio has 2 eyeballs now, so it doesn't really matter.
They grow back.
So Dominic is on TV. Ray's on TV. Seth is on TV. Whatever happened to Buddy Murphy? Did Aaliyah kill him? Like, what happened?
I don't know what to tell you. I guess they just forgot about that. Because Seth Rollins isn't around, I guess it's not a big deal, so they just don't showcase it. I mean, SmackDown, you got to think about it. It's only 2 hours, right? So there's only so much they could show. You got to show the best stuff. And let's face it, that was some of the worst stuff on SmackDown. So it's better that they did make time for it. I mean,
yeah.
Remember last year, Aleister Black was like a big deal. Now Aleister Black doesn't exist in WWE pretty much.
Well, his wife got unceremoniously fired, and she's been pretty vocal about it, and we haven't seen him since.
It's not his fault.
No, but, guilt by association. That's how it works. And he's probably said some things, too. I don't know. He can't be happy about it. Sasha Banks over Carmella. It happened. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, I mean, it was what it was pretty much. I mean, it wasn't as ridiculous as the other matches because they kicked out Reginald in this match, so the referee actually put some control in there. But when you did that too, it's like there was nothing to that match afterwards, besides Carmella almost dying on the dive. After that, it was just going through the motions pretty much.
Yeah. The dive was cool, but yeah. The match was...
by the way, I mentioned this on Twitter, like, man, Sasha and Snoop, like, they're on par with their frog splashes. Like, that was pretty god-awful by Sasha tonight. I don't know what you thought.
I didn't even notice it.
Well, it wasn't worth noticing, to be honest, but it was pretty bad.
I was half paying attention to that match, to be honest. I can't really, I noticed the dive when Carmella almost broke her neck, but other than that. Drew McIntyre and Goldberg lasted 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Felt like way longer. Just a bunch of spears,
well, it was
and
because
spears and claymores.
Didn't start right away.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They were outside the ring for a while doing spears and claymores out there. Not much of a wrestling match. I mean, what are you going to do? It's a Goldberg match. It was what it was. When he hit the jackhammer, though, I thought it might be over. I was worried about this one. I was like, God damn, are they really going to give this to Goldberg? I forget. Did you predict Goldberg to win or what?
No, I predicted Drew. As much as I wanted Goldberg to win, but I went with Drew. I stay perfect tonight.
So did I. Did you really? You predict everything?
Well, yeah. It's a good night for me.
Jeez.
Let's just hope we go to WrestleMania with this.
We should bet with your picks. Give me your picks for the next UFC. I'm going to put some money down, okay? Overeem or Volkov, John?
I go with Overeem.
There you go. Me too. I think we're unanimous on Ringside Report on Overeem too, so that's next week. We'll talk about that on Thursday night.
Oh, that didn't work too well for you guys last time, so yikes.
Take it easy, John. Take it easy. That's Conor McGregor's fault. The guy he fucked up, bro. He fucked up big time. Yeah, Drew Goldberg. Drew retains. It was what it was. Solid pay-per-view tonight. I liked it. My brother disappeared. I think Undertaker got him. He's resting in peace. Huh?
Your brother's soft, I guess.
Soft, yeah. He's playing video games now, just like the rest of the soft millennials in the locker room. According to the dead man. I watched that whole podcast. Eventually, I got to it, the Joe Rogan thing with Undertaker. My God, that guy has had surgery on everything in his body.
Talking about Joe Rogan?
No, Undertaker.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Jeez, man. Both of his orbitals, like his eyes are in like metal sockets, basically. He has no peripheral vision because of his eyes, because of what Viscera and Rey Mysterio did to him on 2 separate occasions.
Right.
Like his hips are bad, his knees, his shoulders, like everything. He's had surgery on everything in his body. Like, yeah, it's good that he's retired, man. I mean, I knew that he was beat up. You could tell he's beat up by the way he moved around in the ring. You could tell. And you saw the last ride. You knew there was a lot of surgeries. But watching him on Joe Rogan, you're like, holy shit, man. This guy has literally given his body to the business. His body is not what it should be because he's given it to the wrestling business. Like, I got tons of respect for Undertaker. I got tons of respect for anybody that's going to give up that much of their body to the wrestling business. Pieces of his body just given to the business. God bless Undertaker. I mean, I disagree with him about a lot of shit, but I have the utmost respect for him.
Well, I feel like the whole soft thing, I mean, I can understand because, like, he was in the locker rooms with guys like Dr. David Schultz. I mean, whether you agree with what he did or not, like, he was pretty, like, ballsy to pull that off. And, like, nobody in WWE would ever do that now. So, like, that's it. Like, I can understand what he means when he says, like, guys are soft. Like, yeah, of course, no one's going to, like, slap a reporter as hard as they can across the face anymore.
Yeah.
Not to say that you should. But
I mean, Undertaker broke into the business. His first match in WCCW was against Bruiser Brody. He broke into the business getting stretched by Buzz Sawyer. He was in locker rooms with guys like Harley Race and Haku. Yes, they were tougher back then. I can't take that away from him. He's not wrong about that. The guys that were there back then were tougher than the guys that exist today. But I don't think that it's a bad thing necessarily because the guys today will live much longer lives than the guys that lived back then. They were tough to a fault. A lot of them were very tough, but a lot of them, to be tough, to withstand the pain and go on the road, they were taking drugs that fucking ended their lives prematurely. So, yes, they were tougher, but sometimes you could be too tough for your own good. I think a lot of those guys back then were too tough for their own good. Not Bruiser Brody, but, a lot of the other fucking guys that died prematurely. Like Bruiser was obviously stabbed. It's not demons that got the Bruiser, but, there's a lot of tough guys back then, and, look at Buzz Sawyer. Tough as nails. Dead in his 30s. Maybe in his late 20s? Like, I don't know. Buzz Sawyer was young when he died. Young. Amazing wrestler, though. If you don't know about Buzz Sawyer, go back and watch his work. Jesus, he was good. Died at 32. 32! You're not supposed to be dead at 32 when you're a professional athlete in great shape. There's a reason why that shit happens to you. Demons. We call them demons, but it's really drug abuse. Right? And guys abuse drugs to stay tough, to stay on the road. So Undertaker, I respect him, but I disagree that it was better back then. Guys may have been tougher, but now they're dead. So, I mean, Haku's still alive, but, not everybody survived.
Well, I think it's like with a lot of people, though. I mean, it's what you grew up in, Like, he spent, like, a lot of his adult life in that kind of atmosphere. And now it's, it's the later stages of his life, and, like, it's totally different. So it just feels awkward. I think everyone goes through that eventually. But again, it's not, like, worse. It's just different.
Is Peter Rosenberg still the 24/7 champion?
Sadly.
Jeez. That's a low point for the 24/7 title, which is saying something. I mean, that title has been a complete joke, but it's reached a new low of joke.
The way he was, like, violating R-Truth, that was one of the worst moments, I think, ever in WWE history, sadly.
With the roll-up? Or the low blow?
Yeah. Well, the low blow, and then, the way he pinned him afterwards. Pretty terrible.
Not a great pin. Did not look good. Yeah.
And yet, hopefully, R-Truth will get it back and, right this terrible wrong, and maybe one day they'll retire this title. Sooner than later, hopefully, because tonight was not a good night for it.
I mean, can I take the title away from Peter Rosenberg? Because I think I got a shot, John.
I think you and, like, millions of people do as well.
I'm pretty sure if it was down to me and Peter Rosenberg and the 24/7 title was on the line, Big Daddy Dave would be doing all right. See a shape of Peter Rosenberg? Wait, Truth got it back?
I missed that. I missed that. If he did, I missed that. I didn't see that. Oh, they didn't show it anyways. That's an exclusive. But I wouldn't be surprised. He always wins it back. So
yeah, they always get it back to Truth. Apparently, Angelo says he got it back. Oh, I didn't see that.
Good.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm not messing with R-Truth. That guy's tough.
Keeps the John Cena match alive. That's good.
Yeah. Ridiculous. All right, Johnny. That's it. We're coming up on midnight here, Eastern time. We have been here.
Your brother's not coming back.
No, my brother's gone. He's resting in peace. Undertaker got him. Rest in peace. We'll miss you. You will know my name. All right, we love you. We love you big time. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We appreciate you. Thank you very much to Patrick C. Hamilton for the super chat. Thank you to Angelo for joining the team. Become a member of the team. All you got to do is go to the main page of our YouTube channel and then click join and become a member. We appreciate you. We need more members of the team. More members mean more us. The more members we have, the more of our time we can afford to give you, and then the more of our time we can afford to not give other things that take up our time so that we can make money, if you understand what I mean. You know what I'm saying? John knows what I'm saying. I'm saying the more members we have, the more of our time we can dedicate to this channel, and then the less time we have to dedicate to other things to make money in other ways that don't involve this channel. You see what I'm saying, John? John knows what I'm saying. John gets it.
I'm looking forward to your next show Thursday. It should be a lot of fun.
Why?
Is Fred coming back?
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, because if he doesn't come back, wow. It's going to be a crazy show. Look forward to Thursday.
I hope Fred's okay. Fred's got kidney stones, bro.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. Shout out to Fred. We love you, Fred. Send in my love and thoughts to Freddie, who's got his kidney stones. He was sick. He wasn't on the show Thursday, People were like, "Oh, he's got COVID." AJ was joking, saying he's got COVID. I was like, "Don't joke about that, AJ.
Several times,
You shouldn't be joking about that." But Fred's got, he's got some kidney stones, so he's got to work through that. So sending my thoughts to Freddie. I love him. Hopefully he's on the show Thursday, but I don't know. If he's not, he's allowed all the rest he needs. You know what I mean? He's allowed all the rest he needs. It's just, unfortunately, for my mental health, I'll have to deal with AJ by myself, which is never easy. Sometimes fun, never easy. 8 p.m. Thursday night for Ringside Report MMA. We'll preview the Alistair Overeem Volkov fight taking place next Saturday. Johnny and I will be back here for Wrestling Uncensored Friday night right after SmackDown. Every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern after SmackDown. We are here talking pro wrestling with you. And every Thursday night at 8 p.m. we are here doing the Ringside Report MMA thing. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and when you subscribe, click the bell so you get notifications every time that we are on. I hope you enjoyed our show here tonight. Shout out to Doug Hepburn, Patrick C. Hamilton, Angelo, Antoinette, all my members of the team. We appreciate you. Become a member. Everybody else on the chat, everybody watching on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube, we appreciate you. We thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll talk to you again soon. For Johnny, I'm Dave. This has been the Royal Rumble Watch Along Post Show. See ya!
Thank you and good night.
Please join in and give your support to Ringside Report Network. We've been providing expert coverage and commentary on both pro wrestling and MMA for over 15 years. Ringside Report started on the radio, added podcasts, and moved to video in 2019. Our hosts are not just fans, but have in-depth knowledge of the subjects. Become a member of our YouTube channel now and become a recurring supporter of our work as we strive to continue to entertain you in these strange times. Pro wrestler Johnny Genesis North joins lifelong wrestling fan and aficionado Dave Simon to host our pro wrestling programming with in-depth coverage of the WWE, AEW, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Our flagship show, Wrestling Uncensored, is live every Friday right after WWE SmackDown. Here, you get a review of the week that was. You may not agree with our host. In fact, they often don't agree with each other. But you have an opportunity to chime in with your viewpoint in the chat rooms while live or in the comments section of YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook on the replay. Dave and Johnny also headline our coverage of major pro wrestling pay-per-views and breaking news. Dave Simon is joined by experienced jiu-jitsu fighters Fred Garcia and the ever-unpredictable AJ D'Alessio, each Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern with Ringside Report MMA. They try and foresee what's next in the octagon and review, argue, and kibitz in a very friendly, irreverent manner. The three guys also team up to accompany you on all the major UFC pay-per-views with entertaining watch-alongs. Go to ringsidereport.net/support to find out more ways to support the channel.